This week on Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes, the nerds discuss their thoughts on the Black Panther film. They also talk a little bit about Michael Bay and Lobo. They do some toy talk and discuss the new trailers from Ready Player One, Rampage, Kingdom Hearts 3, and Pacific Rim. All of this and a lot more, so strap in. Here we go.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes. Well, tonight we have a bit of a smaller crew, a bit of a better crew. I feel we've kind of
got rid of the dead weight.
Yeah, cut off the fat, so to speak. Tonight we have our editor Ray, as always.
Editor, quote unquote.
Yes. I mean, we're just throwing around titles here. Our archivist, Chuck.
Hi.
Hi. Our color commentator, TJ.
Thank you.
And your reluctant host, Mike.
Reluctant my ass. You were like arm wrestling for us for it.
Yeah,
earlier.
for real.
Yes. I've
never seen someone beg so much in their lives.
Well, I would call it the spotlight, but it's a bit more romantic. I love the candlelight.
Yes. Yeah.
Scotch scented candle next to Ray's sleeveless form.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
back, everybody.
Yeah. That candle should just be called Daddy's Kisses. So how's everyone doing this week?
Good. How are you doing, Mike?
Pretty negative. Pretty terrible.
Oh.
Guys, my week was going okay because of work, but last night, actually started yesterday. I mean, sorry to hijack this, but I lost somebody very important to me yesterday. And it pretty much, like I was telling y'all earlier, it's like the big reason why I didn't show up for the dinner party, but been a big part of my life, and like I was lost for words. I didn't know what to do, but I was really hoping Nathan was here, but Ray will have to do. But Ray, this is my dead S3.
Oh yeah!
It fucking died on me yesterday at work.
I don't even know how this thing works.
We're
gonna burn it
because it does
right here in the fire.
I was using it and it was fine. I go on break and it's like data partition is corrupted.
What are you using?
So I'm like, okay, that's fine. Tried to restart it. Showed up again. Looked up how to factory reset it. It wouldn't fucking factory reset. So I finally got the iPhone.
Ooh.
That Ray got me for Secret Santa. I have no idea really what I'm doing with this damn thing. But it's crazy because it's so much faster than that phone. I can't have conversations like, give me a second while my phone's like, oh shit, it's already loaded.
Yeah.
Yep. Welcome to 3 years ago.
I know, but
it's about
on the plus,
goddamn time.
I have a phone, but also Walmart had a special on the S3, so in 2 days I'll be getting another one. It was like $100.
Why would you do
spent $100 too
on
much
what?
for
This will
another
be a spare.
S3.
That one was I had that for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, you had it for 4 or 5 years because it served its purpose and it didn't cost any money, just like your truck. So
It'll be
and going into
this will be my backup.
Hold on.
Phone, you have decided that it is necessary to pay $100 for a phone that is half a decade old.
That is at least half a hot toy.
I know.
That's a good point.
I know.
Yeah.
No, fuck
I
it.
didn't, guys, I didn't buy
That's at
another
least
one.
a game and a half.
That's
a game and a half.
One. That's why if Nathan was here, because he would have been happy about me
I
getting
want
rid
to
of the phone.
horse whip
and
your ass right now for
he
buying that
probably
other
would have,
S3.
Fucked up jaw and everything, bitched me out.
Do they at
for
least
doing
have
that.
an S4 or an S5?
I didn't order one, Ray.
He could have got like even a J1 would, or something that came out in the
a
last couple years.
J1.
Yeah, that came out
Sounds like back in time.
a year and a half
Couldn't you
ago.
have at least gotten a Razor or something, Chuck, something newer than an S3?
Fuck you. But no, it's just trying to get used to all the ins and outs of it because I've never had an iPhone before. It is still kind of weird to me right now.
That one's got a battery pack too.
I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it might take you a hot minute, but it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
You just got to get used to it. You enjoy
I'm
that
proud of you, Chuck.
blazing
I needed
speed.
something else.
About goddamn time.
We're gonna go back in the back tonight. We're gonna set this motherfucker on fire. This S3.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Have
yeah,
a bonfire over this because these things probably burn great.
but yeah, I just wanted to do
Well,
that.
the Note 7s explode on their own, so
Yeah.
you know it's a part of Samsung's lineup to be highly volatile.
But yeah, that's the start of my week. So
Well, congratulations,
Yes.
Charles. I'm glad we could pull you into 2012.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if that's everything, guys, I think we should move on to the old Nerd On.
go for it, man.
Get your nerd on. 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 Get your nerd on.
Well, guys, this is our Nerd On segment where every week we get together and we talk about all the things we've been nerding out on. As tradition, we start with Ray. Ray, what have you been nerding out on this week, sir?
Well, I've had a few things. It's been kind of a lack week for me. I've been working on N is for Nerd. Guys, I wanted to have it out before now, but so many things have come up this week.
Ray, can I interrupt you for a second?
You can.
Okay, so you're saying that you kind of failed at your Nerd On
Yes.
because you didn't finish your nerd podcast
Yeah.
that you've been working on all week.
All
week?
week and
Nothing.
maybe for 8 months prior.
Yeah.
I took a little bit of a break, but
even if you failed, I mean that's still a pretty good Nerd On. You're doing a nerd podcast.
That's true. That's true. I've been working on episode 2 of N is for Nerd, Black Panther, and of course, I wanted to have it out before Black Panther dropped, but a lot of we had. One of my other Nerd-Ons, we had Nerd Trivia on Tuesday, so I wasn't able to do a lot that day.
That was your planned podcasting day?
Well, that was one, well, not really, but that was like sort of one of them. But the day before that, or the day after that, we of course had Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Don't remind me.
Which you didn't celebrate.
I sort of did. And then also, I had to go pick up my dad from the airport, all kinds of other stuff.
Got a taxi. All I'm hearing is
I know,
excuses.
it's excuses. Excuse after excuse.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. But I'm still working on it. And part of the reason, like, I have to say, number one, fuck Jonathan Hickman. Because, I love his writing so much, but I get into things and I start reading things and researching like certain points, and I go back and like I keep going back and back and back and back, and every fucking time it's Jonathan Hickman storylines that tie into this other stuff that eventually converges at the 2015 Secret Wars. So I'm currently not, well, I've worked out some of the stuff, but I've gone back up to like 1998 to his Fantastic Four run that is still tying in with the 2015 Secret War stuff for Black Panther. So there's just a lot of intricacies in these stories that I'm trying to have to work.
Ins and outs.
Yeah, really, really are. So I'm still working on that, and I hope to like finally have that out on Monday or Tuesday. It's still way later than I want it to be, but I'm working on it. Speaking of which, I also got to see the film Black Panther.
Ooh.
Which everyone here tonight got to actually see. So we'll probably do a more in-depth. Our quote-unquote fans on the internet have asked us to do a in-depth super spoiler review of the movie.
They did?
So yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So
saw
later
one
in the
person
podcast, we'll be doing that. But yeah, I saw Black Panther. I've been working on my Black Panther podcast that will hopefully be out at least Monday or Tuesday. I rewatched Orville because Allison, I finished watching it, and as I finished watching it, Allison started watching an episode with me and really enjoyed it. So we watched back through it, and she loved almost every bit of it. So,
what parts didn't she like? As you said, almost every bit of it.
I think she, I don't know. There's little things. It's nerd stuff, so she sometimes has a hard time with some of that. But I think she liked most of it. I don't know what, so we could call her in here, but who wants that?
Don't do that.
No one wants that. Also, I've been reading through. There was a thing on Twitter. I follow Xavier Files that do the Battle of the Atom podcast, and they sent out a thing from, I think it's UncannyXmen.com, where it's an infograph of all of the X-Men relationships, which can be a lot. So
dangerous. Yep.
Yeah. So I was looking over it, and there was one point where I'm a big fan of Phantom X, and there was so I was following his stuff, and I saw that he had a relationship or a one-night stand with Hope Summers, who is relatively young. I think she's in the 17, 18 range when she came into the Marvel universe, or came back into the Marvel universe. So I was like, what the hell is this? So I tweeted at Xavier Files, and I was like, hey, I missed this somewhere. What the hell's going on? And he was like, oh, okay, that's somewhere in the Cy Spurrier X-Force run. So I've been reading through a lot of that this week. I have been doing my normal, whatever. I'm, my X-Men currents on Marvel Unlimited. But when I have other time, I've been going through that. And I read the first few issues. I think it was less than 20 issues, I believe. But I'm interested to see where that comes up, because apparently she's supposed to be a computer program at that point, and he's supposed to have a nervous breakdown. So I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm investigating that for all of you out there. So probably next week I'll have an answer to that.
Okay.
For that question that no one's really asked but me.
C is for commingling.
Yeah, exactly. But other than that, so I've been really working on the Black Panther podcast. I went and saw Black Panther, X-Force, and
for research
purposes. Yeah. So other than that, that's been my nerd on this week. I've been working a lot on that Black Panther, so I hadn't had a lot of time to do a lot of other things. I did get in the mail. I got some more of the Phoenix Resurrection. I think I talked about that last week. I didn't get to figure out. I read X-Men Red.
That's the Gene.
That's
team?
the Jean one, but I hadn't finished out Phoenix Resurrection, so I didn't know. I knew Jean Grey was back, but I didn't know why. So now, hopefully, this week I'll be able to figure out
ratings.
Why. Huh?
Ratings.
Yeah, that's probably true. So that's me.
Alrighty, well, that's a pretty focused yet still extensive nerd on.
Well, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Chuck, follow that up.
All right, since I wasn't here last week I got to see Cloverfield Paradox. Really enjoyed it. Like Ray
already talked about it.
Oh no, I'm just saying it was my nerd on.
I'm just
news.
Kidding.
But really enjoyed it, how it tied into the Cloverfield universe. Also,
it's weird how a Cloverfield movie would tie into the Cloverfield universe.
Have you seen Paradox yet?
No, I don't have Netflix.
Okay, it does. But also last week,
really?
I don't want to spoil it. God damn it! I get so much shit because I spoil stuff on accident.
You got shit for one movie because you spoiled it.
I said
I also gave him shit for spoiling the Infinity War spoiler earlier about the
Hulkbuster.
Yeah, the Hulkbuster deal.
Legos.
Oh.
But
yeah, Chuck. Well, I don't look at Legos. I don't go to Lego.com.
I don't either. I heard about it.
And then so do you know how people hear about that? It's from people just carelessly telling other people, "Oh man, I'm so pissed off because I heard this spoiler. I'm so pissed off I found out that Bruce Willis was a ghost."
That did piss me off when I found out about that one.
That movie for me.
But
That's
Aside from that, I beat
So,
Dragon Ball
the whole
Xenoverse
Die Hard
2 last
movie,
week.
Bruce Willis is a
What?
ghost in Die Hard.
that's fucking awesome.
In Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
The hell was... Never mind. But
I actually really enjoyed the sequel where he's reincarnated as a baby. Look who's talking.
Hmm.
Why don't you just leave the lights on, Ray?
I know,
'Cause
right?
you keep taking pictures. Don't. No.
But other than that, Ray's standing in front of me with his tank top. But current this week, got to see Black Panther with Ray and Mike, and a couple buddies I actually work with. I saw, really enjoyed it. My current obsession right now, I've been watching on
Little
Hulu.
girl's underwear.
Besides that, on Hulu, I've been watching a lot of Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives and Chopped.
Hell yeah.
What are you like living in a hotel?
No, I was like, I wonder if, because I was watching Chopped earlier in the week, and I was like, God, I really love this show. And I was like, let me see if Triple D's on there.
I
and
love
it was.
cutting things so much with knives. I want to watch an entire show about it called Chopped.
Well, he was drastically disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now some of them have some good knife work, but no, it's really that got a laugh out of
No,
you.
that knife fork one was like right up my laugh alley.
Oh God,
It's just because like Chuck's extensive skill set comes into play. Like he loves food shows except for the knife work. He gets really serious.
He gets
about
really
it.
bad about
No,
it.
I said
He's
they
like,
do
dude,
have
man, they're
some
gonna
good
make
knife
this
work.
shepherd's pie, and oh man, the mashed potatoes are gonna be. Wait, they're gonna. No.
How the fuck are you even alive holding a knife like that?
Oh man, look how.
Really?
I could have done that way better. Like I'm pretty, and then like afterwards, you know, the show's great. It's like nothing happened, but there's that one little glitch in your psyche. So continue.
But other than that, I've been watching. Not watching, but I've seen a lot of stuff from Toy Fair this year, and mainly the Hasbro stuff, the Marvel Legends figures, and I'm
Hasbro.
really excited at some of the stuff they got coming out now.
Dildo his bro.
Have you seen anything for the Marvel Studios 10 years, TJ?
No, I haven't seen it.
They're like
2 years, 10 inches,
two figure packs.
1 inch per year.
The head sculpts on a lot of these are like literally look like like not hot toy quality, but for something that's gonna be mass
Chuck
produced,
some head
they
they
sculpts.
look amazing. They have a Pepper Potts in one of the suit from Iron Man 3. I can't remember which one it was.
Rescue.
There's a lot of suits from Iron
It's
Man
got
3.
like the hot rod flames on it,
I think that was actually
that's actually-
legitimately called Hot Rod.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it was-
and it has Trevor Mandarin in it also in that pack. A Hulkbuster with a Hulk. Dude, they look really good. Just the 10 years Marvel Studios 10 years figures, and they showed off a lot of the build away figures. And I finally was able to get a new Marvel Legends tonight because our local Walmart
Ooh.
doesn't know how to fucking stock shit and put anything new out. But
I think
I
all
got,
the children just buy them is the problem.
yeah,
They don't restock
they,
them
they,
very well.
they don't stock at all. They don't because
No.
they're actually I think 2 sets
You should
behind
give
here.
them some stalking lessons.
I would
because you're
love
really good
to.
at it.
Yes.
Legs.
But shut up, Ray. But I got the Lizard Build-A-Figure Mysterio figure today, so I was like,
You got
I'm
lizard
excited about
and-
that
Oh,
No, it's the
never
lizard
mind.
Build-A-Figure
I gotcha.
wave. Mysterio. So I'm kind of excited about that. Other than that, just trying to figure out the iPhone that I have. Trying to get some of the stuff I had on my old phone, just the standard apps. My first federal app I needed. That was the one thing I wanted to make sure I knew what money I still had in my account. So just trying to figure out the iPhone because I've never had one before. So that's what I've been doing.
I can
yesterday and today.
comment that the First Federal app does work on the iPhone.
Yes.
Well, I didn't know if I had to like reinstall it. Like when I first got it, I didn't know that. But that's the main reason I needed the phone was so I had that, so I knew what money I had still. But other than that, kind of like Lester, just a lot of work. But I did get some stuff in there.
Well, good. Is that all, Chuck?
Yes, sir, it is.
Alrighty, Mr. TJ. Let's hit me with your nerd on. Here, give me your best shot.
Okay. So this week,
I got
Katie
that
and
reference.
I finished all the available episodes of Great British Baking Show on Netflix. Highly recommended if you haven't seen it. It's just a really feel good show.
I feel like there's nothing invested. Like you can just go into it and just watch it.
Yeah.
It's very palate cleansing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I've been working on one of my customs for my 1/6 figures, which is specifically a Cyclops in his Utopia uniform. It's probably my favorite Cyclops outfit, so I'm trying some things, and
Which one is that again? I've probably seen it. I just can't remember.
I'll send you a picture later. But anyway, I've had some progress. I found some things that will work for what I'm going to do, and but I'm quite happy with the direction it's taking. The only thing that's going to be really hard is the head sculpt, I think. Yeah.
Trying to find one.
What, the penis?
Those are pretty easy to find.
Yeah, I had an extra one with the M31 body that I got for it. So
Just have extra 1/6
had
scale
3.
penises lying around.
yeah, it had 3 1/6 scale penises with it.
They give
One was
a lot
limp.
of penises.
One was
Loves that you have
semi-hard,
extra penises.
and the other one was like full blast hard. So,
Well, he's like the hardest part's the head sculpt. He's like the penis. I was like,
Well, only 1/3 of the penises are actually hard. The rest of them are pretty,
yeah. Watch this new show this week.
Unsolved Mysteries.
No, it's called AP Bio.
I heard it's really good.
With Glenn Howerton. I'm not a terribly big fan of it so far. I think it's kind of so-so.
AP Bio. What is it?
I think Patton Oswalt's in it as well.
Yeah, he is. He's the principal in it, and Glenn Howerton from It's Always Sunny is in it. He's a teacher who used to be a. He was up in line to be a professor at Harvard of psychology, I think it was psychology. So he comes back to his hometown to be a an AP biology teacher.
Oh God. Okay. AP Bio.
Yeah, he's only got one class a day, and it's his misadventures with this class. The premise of it is that he doesn't want to be there, so he doesn't want to teach them biology. All the kids want to learn biology because they want their college credit. Yeah, for me, I don't know how long you can keep a premise like that going.
Yeah.
So
It's daily class adventures, I guess.
I don't know. It feels like
The well runs dry after a point.
yeah, and it's only 3 episodes in, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of lackluster to me. It's like all those other times you see a kind of edgy comedian or whatnot try to do a mainstream show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does not work.
Like Bob Saget in Full House.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, oh my god, yeah, it's just it's kind of a letdown to me. There's some funny parts to it, but I didn't care for it too much. But I've heard other people really love it, but I'm not a terribly big fan.
Well, people have been known to have bad taste, so it's very possible. I've been wanting to see it, so after that amazing review, I'll probably skip.
Yeah, I mean, give it a shot at least to form your own opinion of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I just wasn't a big fan of it. I'm going to keep watching it just to see, because it is a first season.
Yeah, and first seasons for the most are kind of shaky.
The Office first season's kind of rough. Parks and Rec first season was very rough.
Development was.
No,
You're a fucking
Joking.
idiot, Chuck.
I'm joking.
No, you're not.
I like
That's
the
what's sad.
No, but
That's what's really sad about it, is that you're not
first season
joking.
of The Office.
But I'm gonna give it a shot and see how it turns out. It'll be strange watching a series from the beginning, so it's kind of when I want to get on board with it. Most of the stuff I watch a couple years after
Okay, so
it
this
started
is pretty much
or when
current.
it's ended, so I can binge watch the whole thing.
So this show's pretty much current.
Yeah, it's only had 3 episodes come out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for The Simpsons to finish so I can binge watch it.
Yeah. And then I saw
Been
Black
waiting since
Panther
'89.
today.
You what?
I saw Black Panther today.
Oh, okay.
And I had a Sunday afternoon nap, which I never have.
What
but
the
I
fuck?
thought it was a great thing to have for a nerd on, though.
When is a nerd on, man? Focusing on yourself and your sleep.
No, it's like I wish I could have that. That's what
You can, Chuck. Just lock that freezer door and just go to sleep for an hour, man.
Especially with the oxygen running out, you have a real good sleep.
You know what's nice about that iPhone 5S you got there?
What?
Alarm clock. There you go. S3 didn't have it.
Nope.
I had an alarm on there.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. Not like this.
Oh, it's annoying.
It
This
actually
one's
works.
annoying. Yeah. This one's annoying. I will say that.
How was it annoying?
It works.
The tone, it literally, I kept waking up like, oh my god.
So
This
the
thing's
tone was
How
so
many
annoying.
days have
it
you
kept
had this
waking you up.
iPhone working?
Since about 10 o'clock last night.
Okay.
Less than 24 hours. It's 24 hours.
Wait a minute. You said that was the reason you couldn't come to the food
'cause
party
I
was
wanted
because of
to
the
try-
phone.
The reason is I don't want to get my number switched, and then if I'm activating this, I already had my other phone and trying to figure out how to
You're
get it.
boring me to death.
Yeah.
Shut up, Ray. I'll tell you later.
I don't know how this didn't
I'll tell you
correspond
later.
with food.
I'll tell you later.
Anyway. Oh, and I had my Asian food party this month.
We did have that.
So good.
It was.
So-
Let's talk about the food we had there. We had pot stickers from an actual Asian.
Yes.
Pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
I made some Thai curry wings
Yes. They were
From an
Excellent.
actual
from an actual
Caucasian
Thai
man.
from an actual Caucasian man. We had some. What are those things?
I heard the the potato dish.
Lacey had made some kind of like cheesy Asian potatoes. I know that sounds weird, but
I heard that was delicious.
Oh,
it was
gosh,
so,
it was so
good. God. And then made some Mongolian beef stew. We also had some pineapple and shortbread cookies.
Yes, those were good too.
Fried cheese wontons, pork egg rolls.
I had the egg rolls.
So
Good stuff all
so
around.
damn good. Yeah, it was a bountiful meal. I was.
It really
impressed.
was.
Yeah.
I only got to be there for a little bit, but it was good while I
Yeah.
was there.
It was really good. Okay. That's all I got, Mike.
Okay, mine's pretty short as well. I'm still playing
Mike.
Wolfenstein 2. The game is getting crazier than how I described last week.
It was already crazy.
Where your fucking head gets cut off. Well, you have to track down the Oberkommando, which is, just the head of the Third Reich. After, they put your dead head on top of a, android body. So it turns out after attacking the Oberkommando, they decided to set up base on Venus.
Instead
Oh,
of the moon,
shit.
this one.
Yeah. So what you do is you assume the identity of an actor to play yourself in a movie called, from what they refer to the Southern Nazi killer, Terror Billy. And so you're auditioning for a part to play yourself. And then when you get
In
there,
your android body.
yeah, and you get there, fucking Hitler's the director, and he's like 70 and senile, and like fucking pissing everywhere, and like taking naps halfway through the auditions and shit. And he's crazy in a shit house rat. Like at one point, like the dude calls him Mr. Hitler, and he gets all pissed off and fucking pulls a Luger out and blows him away. So the game gets crazier, and it's so much fun. The first one was really good too, of the newer series.
Yeah.
But I would definitely recommend it. I mean, for the story alone and the gunplay, it's really good, and it can be challenging as well. It's not just cheap laughs and stuff. It's still a really good game.
Yeah.
And it looks amazing too. That's another thing. It looks beautiful. I'm still kind of been on the whole Guinness World Record game players cheating. Like I brought up the Todd Rogers thing. I posted a video in the Facebook chat. I don't know if anybody watched it. It was a little long. But the next person to be accused is actually pretty much one of the most famous arcade record holders, Billy Mitchell, or as Mike McCarthy called him, Silly Bitchel, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Because I'm immature.
Yeah.
But it was the same thing. He had a lot of clout with the Twin Galaxies, a lot of which is an arcade where they posted a lot of the high scores that made people famous in the 70s and 80s. In the heyday of arcade gaming, and he had made some really. His games were Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. But he I guess later. He had gotten some money from, becoming a minor celebrity. So much so that he's actually financially backing Twin Galaxies at some points, like these days, because they're still around. And these guys are still playing these arcade games and trying to, break and make new records. one of the things that he did was he posted some scores that seemed a little fishy, and they uncovered, it turns out that he was using the fact that he was financially backing Twin Galaxies by saying, hey, if you don't put these scores through, then we're going to make things a little rough for you guys.
Yeah.
And just some really other slimy things. I mean, if you know this guy, he's quite overconfident and kind of, I would say, cocky and not very friendly. But it was crazy stuff too. Like a big thing is that they want you to film making these
The scores.
Yeah, making the scores. And strangely enough, these either the videos weren't there or they were very strange to the point to where, like, they looked at the audio file and they could see that the video of him breaking a Donkey Kong record was actually heavily edited together.
Yeah.
Because you could see, like, I guess the blank spots in the audio.
Then the visuals were really bad too. I watched the video.
Oh, you did watch it?
Yeah.
Okay,
the
yeah.
visuals were just jumpy as shit all through it.
Exactly. And one of the things is he swears up and down he never used an emulator. He used the actual arcade gaming because it's harder to, like, fuck with those. But even the way, like, the game's loaded on the screen, the emulator where you could, manipulate the games, the levels loaded a certain way, where the arcade loaded a different way.
Yeah.
And the videos where he swore he played arcade, they load as if he's playing the emulator.
Yeah.
They even go as far as to make this pretty much fake video of them pulling a Donkey Kong board out of an arcade and putting a Donkey Kong Jr. board in it, because he was saying he made 2 like huge records in one day, basically just being a kind of a big slime ball.
Yeah.
So I mean that I don't know why, because I'm not that crazy big into arcade, but those guys in that era have always kind of interested me, and it's weird to see, like, these dudes, come out and it turns out, that they're most part frauds.
Yeah. Probably from some of the reading material you've been doing recently too.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've always kind of been interested in that, but Ready Player One, which, has been a definite repeat of mine and TJ's and Nathan's Nerd-Ons. We just saw a trailer for it, which we're going to talk about a little later in the news, which I'm excited about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just really cool. The whole premise of the movie, and I mean, I'm excited.
Yeah, I am too.
Just gaming. You're very attached to the gaming culture, especially retro stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess so. It's
very personal to you.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, for sure. The last thing is just kind of a rabbit hole I went down. Every now and then you all get on YouTube rabbit holes. This particular one is a guy who I really didn't happen to enjoy his videos, and I'm sure everyone's seen one of his videos in here, but it's Imaginary Axis. He does these really in-depth videos about, like, the science behind a lot of superheroes, like how fast is the Flash, how much can Superman actually lift, and things like that. But they're really he's a really interesting I guess presenter. Like I said, he goes really in depth for some of the questions he asks. And it's not just stuff like that. He also even went into one kind of explaining the Endless from Gaiman's Sandman, and what each one did and what they represent. So it's I mean, overall, he's got about maybe 20-30 videos, but I think they're pretty much all entertaining. And I mean, you can learn a lot more about your favorite characters, stuff that's not easily accessible, because it takes, a person like him to leaf through all these comics to find these, facts and different things he uses in his videos. But other than that, I mean, that's really about it for my Nerd On.
Right on.
Yeah. Anybody else anything to add?
I don't think so.
No.
Alrighty, fellas. I think we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come on back with the news.
Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce you to the newsman of the evening, Jimmy Ray Hancock. Come on now. He's with the news. You're gonna read the news now. got tonight. Well, I hope it's good. This is Ray with the news. Here we go. Ray's with the news chat. Ray's reading the news chat. Ray's reading the news chat. Ray's reading the news chat.
All right, so here's the news for the week. Y'all ready for this?
Not really.
It's like we're gonna play a sports game now.
Ray, I
Y'all
think you
ready
need
for
another
this?
beer.
I need another one.
I think you do, bro.
Maybe.
He's singing Jock Jams. I don't know if he needs another beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Oh.
Go and
All
pound
we
that
need
one
is
down. Pound it down, big boy.
We are the champions. We will rock you mixture. And
I will say that one of my grails that I hope to find at a flea market or a yard sale someday
Actual
is
Holy Grail.
no, is the
Cup
Jock
of a
Jams
Carpenter.
Volume
CD.
1.
And one day I got so close. We bought it and went back to the car and we realized that we had bought the Jock Jam. Not Jock Jams the CD, the single. The Jock Jam.
Was it
So
good
we were
at
so
least?
close. Oh yeah, fuck yeah, it was good.
You do realize almost every single Jock Jams album is on Spotify, right?
No, I understand, but owning that CD of the Jock Jams,
I have a playlist of all the Jock Jams hits.
I imagine that
I can send you.
I imagine that only gets you the most pumped you could ever get.
Well, I mean, because it's that.
You have to have the hardest cock after listening to that.
Especially when Tootsie
Obviously
Roll
he does.
comes on.
Wow.
He plays it before every podcast. You could tell.
Let me see
All
that
right,
Tootsie
let's
Roll.
actually get into the news and
Tootsie
stop
Roll.
talking about 1992
Tootsie Roll.
CDs that we could find.
Hey, fuck you. Jock Jams is the part. 90s are
I
coming
know.
back, man.
Yes.
That's true. That's true.
It's a 20-year mark. 90s are coming back. Plaid's coming back.
We're gonna get Jock Jams 2.
Plaid's always been back on the podcast. Look at me.
That's for real. So first off, we have Michael Bay is in talks to do a Lobo movie with DC Films.
Low boo.
Explosions everywhere.
So the
Yes,
rumor
it'll
we
work.
talked about last week is pretty much accurate then.
What was the rumor?
The rumor was that he was in talks to do
yeah.
Lobo.
He's just milked every explosion out of the Transformers series and has to go. I hope he knows that explosions can't happen in space, and that's going to fuck him up.
I don't know. He's seen Star Wars.
He'll
So.
probably do them anyway.
Yep.
So Lobo is. I wouldn't say Lobo is the Deadpool of the DC universe.
No.
That
That would be Ambush Bug.
Well, I honestly think nowadays it's Harley
It's
Quinn.
obscure as fuck, obviously.
Yeah,
but
yeah, Ambush Bug really is. I would say nowadays Deadpool is, or I mean Harley Quinn sort of is.
yeah.
But this would be DC's answer to the Deadpool films. Lobo is more of like a space mercenary, I guess.
But
Is he sarcastic? Would people say he has a mouth?
he's more on the extreme violence to an extent, and he doesn't.
He is
really
very
care.
sarcastic.
So
they call
he's-
him the main man.
So he's
Yeah.
sarcastic and violent. How is this not like Deadpool?
Well, he murdered.
if Deadpool were more like a
Wolverine.
no, I was gonna say a wrestling character.
Oh, yeah. That would, yeah. That's
big-
more like it.
Bigger wrestling character that smokes big old cigars all the time and drives
That has a chain hook.
has a chain hook and drives a
fucking
space motorcycle.
Sounds like the comedian from Watchmen.
Very, very similar.
Very apt.
Yeah.
but super strong.
I never
healing
put that
factor,
together.
shit like that. But
No, he all the time is fighting with like Superman
Yeah.
and holding his own and stuff like that.
So I'm assuming he's pretty strong.
He's pretty strong. He is pretty strong.
Who's the actor they're lining up for
I
this?
I don't think
Better be
it's
Kurt Russell.
Okay, hold on. Chuck, you're
he's too
master of
family friendly.
wrestling.
He's too family friendly. Who could do it?
Yeah, who's the wrestler that they need to get for this?
Bam Bam Bigelow's corpse.
He's
the
dead.
wrestler that they need to team with Michael Bay to get the perfect Lobo movie.
Lobo's a pretty big boy, isn't he?
Chris Benoit and
he's
strings.
pretty big.
That's
Someone from the Road
He's got no
Warriors.
strings to hold him
there's
down.
only one left, and he looks
Is there only
horrible.
one? Okay, that's who we want.
I'll say it's Bam Bam Bigelow.
He's dead.
That's why it's
God
even
damn
better.
it.
A Weekend at Bernie's, except with the Lobo
Current
movie.
wrestler right now, they could pull off Lobo.
Kurt Russell? Is that what you said? Kurt Russell?
I said
Mike
Kurt Russell.
said Kurt Russell.
Nah.
You need another beer, Ray.
I don't know who could play Lobo.
You know who'd look good with a big old feathered biker do? Channing Tatum.
Too small. Lobo's a big dude.
Oh, no.
You
For a
can
movie, he
beef him up. How about The Rock?
Yeah.
Not The Rock's.
I mean, he's
thing
being
now.
Black Adam, but he
Dwayne
could
the
also,
Lobo Johnson.
Yeah.
What about
Because that's the thing. There's wrestlers can have the look, but they won't have the mannerisms or
No. Who's got the look? And because they gotta have a persona when they come out to the ring.
that's the thing. The only one
Not
that would
the
be
persona. We don't
scary
need-
enough would be intimidating enough. Because Lobo's kind of intimidating. Would be Taker, but he's too old.
John Cena?
No.
I mean,
He's
it would be
perfect
really-
age for this.
Damn it, Mike.
He's too old.
You ruined my setup. I was going to say, it'd be really difficult to film him, but maybe John Cena could
No, he's too family friendly. He wouldn't do that. But he's done some risque shit.
Look
in
at
other
Miley
movies.
Cyrus, man.
Yeah.
It happens.
Exactly.
Mm.
So, moving on, we have a
Moving on. Boring ass news.
out
I
of
know, right?
remakes that no one's asked for. We're getting another Willy Wonka.
Wait. Do you mean any remake ever made?
Any remake ever made.
I enjoy some remakes.
I mean,
Some remakes you do, but this is one that no one's asked for because there was one
Ray said
relatively recently.
No one asked for. No one's asked for. I never sat down and think, you know what I really like is for someone to remake a movie that I love.
Exactly.
Like Willy Wonka. Director Paul King, who is the director of the Paddington films, is apparently being looked at. They're looking at redoing the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I don't know.
Wait. Are they doing Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory or Charlie in the Chocolate Factory?
It's the same thing.
No, it is not.
It's
Willy
based
Wonka
off
and the
same
Chocolate
film-
Factory.
the same book.
He's asking, is it a remake of the movie Willy and the Wonka and the Chocolate
it's the
Factory?
book.
Or is it another interpretation of the book?
It's another interpretation of the book.
Because when you say Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, that's the book. And you say Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, that's the movie.
That's Gene
That's
Wilder's.
the Gene Wilder movie.
That's the
I heard
Willy
you start
Wonka
to say
movie.
Johnny Depp. And
Yeah, I meant to. I'm like, oh wait, no.
Which
Who?
was redone in
I almost did.
2005.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
So I mean,
That's the Johnny Depp one.
yeah, absolutely. That's one. It was remade in 2005.
Yeah.
So it's 2018 now.
13 years.
I don't know if that's long enough. I don't know why we're
I
looking
don't
at
know
this.
we need it.
We don't.
We've got two interpretations that
And
the
only one
Johnny
matters.
Depp one was a little closer to the book.
But it's not my. It's not mine though.
Whereas, the Gene
And I
Wilder
mean, it
one is
wasn't
better
Tim
in
Burton.
every way.
This
Thank
is,
you.
This
Yeah.
is. I mean, if this is the guy that did Paddington, I would assume it's going to be more like kid friendly.
Kid-friendly?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I haven't read
I
the
think
book.
I'm tired of taking. There was some,
This is some low hanging fruit.
This will be
Well,
the third venture into this.
but also when
Not
we were
needed.
kids, some of these children films were fucking terrifying as shit.
Gremlins.
Gremlins wasn't necessarily just for kids, but the original Charlie and the it wasn't
Willy
well,
Wonka
Willy
and the
Wonka
Chocolate Factory.
was fucking terrifying.
Not really.
Gene Wilder was a wild, crazy motherfucker.
Are you kidding? What about that fucking
Yeah, it was fucking
psychedelic ass boat ride? That thing was scary as shit.
I
Some
must have
of
been
the
too old for that because I didn't
The
think
only
it was
time
that
it got
scary.
kind of weird when I was a kid was when you saw the iguana or chameleon. Like
There
that
are
was
people
it.
being murdered left and right.
You didn't.
No.
They didn't die.
No, they were.
They
the
all
only thing
died.
that got murdered was the chicken.
The kid suffocated in a chocolate river.
Yeah,
You
they
don't know
died, dude.
Nah,
So-
he went up the pipe. His
Exactly.
parent got him later.
Thank you.
Alright.
Me and TJ are on the same page on this.
I think
This
y'all
is
are
a
the wrong page of the wrong
Fat
book.
kid got sucked into a pipe.
Yeah.
What fat kid has that not happened to?
Yeah. Oh, we need to go to
I've
the
only
juicing room.
ever been stuck in 3 or 4 pipes.
Exactly.
All right, so
I got my pipe stuck in some stuff.
yeah, high five over here. Let's do it. Yeah.
It's just in
All
the
right.
office.
So Chris Columbus, who is the director of
1492.
Home Alone,
of Home Alone, Gremlins, Mrs.
the Harry
Doubtfire,
Potters,
and the first 2 Harry Potters,
The
Sorcerer's
worst ones.
Stone,
Fire movies.
Harry Fire movies, Sorcerer's Stone, and Chamber of Secrets.
no, Prisoner of
It
Azkaban.
apparently is going to bring Five Nights at Freddy's to the big screen.
Well, Marshall's going to be really excited about
Yeah,
it.
Nathan's
so's
child
Josh.
will love it. TJ's child will also love it.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about this except for that kind of creepy, but like kind of I don't care bear thing that I see.
It's based on a computer game where you're a security guard and you're in a Chuck E. Cheese-ish type of
establishment.
and you don't have any weapons or anything. You're sitting in a control room, and all you can do is block the doors to the control room to keep the
Animatronics,
the
the live.
demon-possessed animatronics from getting to you.
Okay,
That's got to chill.
so that
But they
might
are
be,
kind of creepy. I mean,
yeah. I've seen the toys and stuff. It's weird. Kids are really into this stuff.
They're really fucked
So-
up.
I'm surprised it's taking this long to get a movie out, honestly.
That's true. That's true.
And Chris Columbus done a lot of family-oriented films. He's going to do this.
He's a bigger name director for this than I would have
Yeah.
thought, too.
Yeah.
I thought it would be like a New Line movie with, like,
Real.
Bob done 2 movies.
Bob director,
Yeah,
Bob
Bob director directing it and
the Menendez brothers,
go one step
direct
above.
another movie.
Go one step above direct-to-video movie or something like that, yeah.
So we have a couple of other films from Fox that are the dates are being mixed up a little bit. They're being moved back or whatnot. The first one is Robert Rodriguez and James Cameron are working on. Come on, calm
Cameron.
down. Kirk Cameron are
Kirk
working on
Cameron and Robert Rodriguez.
Alita, Battle Angel, which is based on
See? Battle Angel.
Battle
Kirk
Angel.
Cameron.
Exactly. That fits right in with this stuff. It was originally supposed to be released on July 20th. It's being moved back to December 21st.
Wait, July to December?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's based
But
on...
how to compete with that Star Wars money?
Yeah, exactly, for real.
Well, there's no Star Wars in December.
No,
there's
they
not
moved
with this year.
those to May, didn't they?
Yeah, Solo comes out in May. So.
Yeah, so they won't be competing
does?
with that. That's cool.
Yeah.
But this is based on a manga that I know nothing about. Mike, do you know anything about it? You're our closest manga expert we have.
No, we don't give a fuck.
All right, so moving on, we'll also have the Predator movie that's being worked on by Shane.
Starring Chris Hansen.
Shane Black.
Shane Black is working on this, and it is going to be moved to. It's moving from August 3rd to September 14th.
We still haven't got
So
a
he's-
fucking
He's
trailer
out
for
in the
this shit.
jungle, and then he steps out from behind a tree.
No.
Why don't you have a seat there, sir?
Oh,
So
I was just going to give these intergalactic wine coolers. I was going to drink them. That child is underage.
But
If it bleeds, we can. Never mind.
I just wanted its skull.
Sweet AIDS.
I wanted them to give me its skull. You know, it's give me
God.
head.
That's what I meant.
so what are y'all?
Oh, a big misunderstanding.
They haven't really no trailers or anything.
No,
for it.
no,
That's why
I
I didn't
mean,
know it was
nothing's
coming
come
out
out.
this year.
Well, if you said Predators, the Predators is coming out in
The
September, or the Predator is coming out in September.
Yeah.
Well, we're about due for a
Shane-
trailer. Then that's
Yeah.
about 6 months out.
Yeah, usually about 4 to 6 months.
but I'm saying
at
we
this
got a
point.
trailer ready for Venom that comes in October. But I'm saying
That was
I didn't know.
barely a
Well,
trailer.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying. But I didn't know
It didn't even
really
say
the wheels for this movie because they really haven't said much about it. I've seen
That's
some
fine.
synopsis for it, and
I'm
it's like, okay.
I mean, for the Venom trailer in the theater today, it didn't even say Venom. It just said V. Just
That's true.
it was-
Yeah,
Like,
that was a piece.
oh my god!
I started laughing at that. Mike's like, shh.
I heard someone
Thursday.
in the theater like, "It's a Venom trailer." I'm like, "How
No,
the
it's
fuck
not.
did you get that?"
Yeah, barely.
But because Mike wasn't Shane Black the from the first Predator movie.
He directed it and he was in it.
So,
Yeah.
He also directed Iron Man 3.
so if he knows it, I'm good with that.
What else he done? He's done a couple other things.
Not
Kiss
very
Kiss
much.
Bang Bang.
Yeah.
He's written a few things.
He's done some writing on some other movies before Predator.
So
I can't remember.
New York Toy Fair is going on right now.
No,
And one of the things that
Sunday.
was announced that is after the Bumblebee movie, the Transformers universe may be rebooted.
fuck yes, finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've only been asking for that for 3 movies.
Has anybody seen the
4
last one?
or 5? TJ's seen all of them.
No, I have not
No,
seen
he's not
last
seen the
night.
last one.
I thought you
I've
saw the
seen
last
all
one.
of them.
I haven't seen last night.
Oh,
I just
man.
haven't brought
Been
myself.
able to do it.
I haven't been able to do it. I had to get kind of toasted to watch.
Sometimes I think
Age
about
of
the
Extinction.
Transform because before I met TJ, like I felt like I was a Transformers person because I grew up on Transformers.
And then you realize
Then
you
I
were
met
wrong.
TJ,
Yeah,
and so like sometimes I think of the
I didn't know someone could care so much about something.
I met TJ, and
that wasn't
I
Marvel.
weep for him sometimes when I think of these Transformers movies.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I memorized every goddamn GoBot. Man. It's one of my favorite lines from Ready Player One.
It's like I remember
Like, seriously, the
memorize every GoBot and Transformer, and that's the only mention of Transformers in the whole 80s themed book
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
they mentioned.
Yeah, the fucking you had a chance to choose a mech and nobody chose Optimus fucking Prime.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
I was so disappointed at that part.
Yeah, it's like you're getting the most obscure mech, the Spider-Man Leopardon mech.
but I'm glad they're gonna reboot them because
They need to
I've
be.
seen all of them.
Yeah.
I own them all. That last one was
Who would you want
Fuck.
for a director for these?
Dennis Villeneuve.
I just want somebody.
Other than
he wouldn't
Guillermo
stick
del-
for all of
del
them,
Toro.
Mike.
I just want somebody that'll just
Do
look
them-
at what's good with the franchise and go,
Let's take
"This,
that.
let's do this with it," and go. That's pretty much what I
Steven
want.
Spielberg.
I wouldn't mind if they literally shot for shot the animated movie and made it live
I
action.
wouldn't mind that.
I
wouldn't
would
mind
not
if
fucking
they
mind
made
that
a
at
good
all.
Transformers that wasn't a rehash of
Yeah,
everything.
I wish they would use more classic character designs than
Yes.
Bay uses.
Yeah.
I wish that there are no human street men or counterparts to introduce us into the world.
no.
Everybody knows what a fucking Transformer is.
That's true. That's
Mhm.
true. So moving on, we have some video game
Wait, what?
news.
Video game.
We have some more movie stuff, but those are trailers. So we're gonna go to this first.
Video game stuff.
Video game. We got a Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer and some gameplay.
Yeah.
I have never played Kingdom Hearts 3. I know people like have big old hard-ons for
Kingdom
this
Hearts
stuff.
1 or 2 or the
Well,
handhelds.
yeah. I've never played any of the Kingdom Hearts, but I know people have big old hard-ons for them, and have been looking forward to this for, 10, 15 years?
At least, yeah.
What has caused such extensive delays? Licensing?
I don't think
It's Square.
Square Enix, yeah.
So they have this other franchise that they work on from time to time.
You mean constantly and shittily?
Yeah.
Yes. They say it's the final one, but they always come out with another one.
But it's just a
I
fantasy.
personally don't think they made a good one since 3. Oh, he's not paying attention.
I actually thought
He's not
9
paying
was really good.
Sorry.
9? Oh my god,
Final
9.
Fantasy
I love
9 was
fucking
really
9.
good.
Fucking computer, Ray.
And Final Fantasy
Podcast,
12
not
was
Peter.
pretty good
I never
too.
played 12.
I
But
liked
9
9.
was really good.
I actually like 9. I
Yeah.
didn't.
You're not a fan of 7, I know.
I'm not a fan of 7. When it comes when they do the re-release of it.
Do you think that the large sword is just impractical?
No,
That way, I don't like it.
no.
Buster Sword was
It takes a
badass.
while
I
to get
didn't-
into the story.
Yes, it does.
It really does. It really does. But that's normal for Final Fantasy, but really it does
More
in
so.
7.
Yeah.
And I didn't like I forget what they call it because I'm not a true Final Fantasy fan apparently. But the stuff that you use to make like different magic, I didn't like the way that was in 7. Magenta or that's
Butter?
not. That's a color.
Yeah,
I'm an
I know what you're talking
You know what I'm
about.
talking
yeah,
about.
I just can't think of the word.
Materia. I didn't like
Better than 8.
A
yeah.
bunch of neckbeards just fuming right
Oh,
now.
they're
8 was-
hating me.
I don't remember the 8 system, but I like
8 was
7, 8, 9
fucking
I liked.
horrible. 8 was.
I like
God.
9.
I want
I
to
remember-
punch someone in the
I remember
face.
now. I
for
remember
8.
now. I remember. But I like.
I can't remember 8. Who was the main character in 8?
Squall.
Squall?
The guy-
Squall Lionheart.
That
And you
was
had to-
the
I actually liked 8. I know no
You
one
had
else
to draw
liked 8.
your
the gun
spells.
knife.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
You
that
could
part
draw
I
from
didn't like.
You could draw
but-
from enemies in random spots on the world
Yeah.
map. You could draw.
Yeah, I didn't like
Regardless.
that part, but I like the actual story of that, and I like 9. But 7, I'm gonna play it again when it re-releases.
That remaster, you'll have a kid. You'll probably have a grandkid by the time that comes out. But
So
7 is good, but you have to get into the story, and then it starts picking up.
Well, and I played
least
like
halfway through
over
disc 2.
20 hours or something, and hadn't gotten to the point where I had quote unquote gotten into the story
What?
yet.
yeah.
Yeah,
I can believe
I was
it.
still I was still out in the desert or some shit, so I just dropped it.
Yeah.
All right, regardless, that's
Anyway,
we're talking Kingdom Hearts.
I'll believe it when I see it. It's
Yes.
out on shelves.
I'm seeing
This thing's been in production hell for
a long time.
goddamn
Well-
almost as long as Duke Nukem Forever.
It's yes and no production hell because they've turned out a lot of handheld versions for the 3DS and all the Nintendo handhelds, but for a fucking console system, Kingdom Hearts 2. When did it come out, TJ? You were still at
It came
was
out.
my first
it was on
game.
PS2.
yeah.
It was on PS2, and it was the first game that released when I worked at GameStop. When I started working,
Midnight release.
it wasn't a midnight. It was like the next morning. It was like the release day.
Yeah.
That was in like February, March of 2006.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been about
12 years.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's as long as Duke Nukem Forever.
and that didn't turn out well.
Yeah.
Like I've played the first. I played in the first and second. I've bought the first and second. I will love 3, but my only problem is I've heard from people that I work with that have played the series. If you haven't played the handhelds, you're gonna be lost going into 3.
What's going to be said is there are going to be people that will buy this game to play it that weren't even alive when the second one came out.
I love Mickey Mouse
Yep.
and Goofy
My son was barely alive when this game came
and
out.
Mike Wachowski.
Yeah, and it looks insane so far from that one trailer.
It looks all right. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. It's just the story. Because I haven't played it since the second one came out. I don't remember shit from the second one. The second one got really confusing. But
A Japanese game got really confusing.
well, the first one, the
Imagine
story for the
that.
first one, I'm like, okay, I get what's going on. Then the second one drops. I'm like, what the? The story made no sense. Like, how does it connect to the first
They
one?
get in that Philip K. Dick Disney World and then gets fucking weird.
Well, apparently
Yeah.
one of the handheld games
scanner
tied the
Goofy.
second to the first one. That came out after the second
I
one.
know nothing about this.
All right, let's just move
Yeah.
on.
So we also got a gameplay trailer for Kingdom Come Deliverance. Mike, can you tell us a little bit about this?
Yeah, one of our Twitter fans recently brought it up to us and asked us what we thought about it. And I had seen the front of the game, just the cover art on Reddit, but I did not do any research until our follower, was nice enough to bring it to our attention. But it seems like a pretty cool game. It takes place, I believe, in the 14th or 15th century. You play, I think it's like a war between the Czechs and Hungarians. From what I understand, it's going to play like, I guess, Skyrim, in the fact that it's an RPG in the sense that there are no classes. There's no magic. It's all very realistic.
Yeah.
But in the sense that what you do, you start to gain experience, in the way you play the game. So your character can kind of, focus into how you like to play. That's your play style. But it looks like it to be very, very realistic, very historically accurate. And just from what I can see, it's an action RPG. But the game looks really, really ambitious.
Yeah.
And really different from what you would see on a console. I would peg this for PC only.
That's what it looked like.
Just because it deals with a very obscure time frame. And it's just something that it doesn't appeal to a lot of modern gamers, I feel. I could be way off the mark, but it looks like it to be a breath of fresh air.
I don't know. They
And
put out. You said you don't think it'll appeal to gamers, but they put out like a version of Skyrim on every fucking system that's known to man. So
well, I mean the historical accuracy of it, internecing Hungarian politics are probably not as interesting as fighting a fucking fire dragon.
Yeah, true.
You know?
I'll give you that much. I will say I was disappointed
I don't
when
know.
I read the name and there was no Superman or Batman or Magog or anything.
I know, right?
And also no Southerners, like Deliverance.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this at
No
first
canoeing.
honestly was an expansion for Kingdom Death Monsters.
You
When I
sure
first
do
saw
got
it.
some pretty
That's what I
armor,
thought
boy.
it was. And I was like, oh wait, this is not that.
All right, well, let's move on to some comic book news.
Fuck
I
me.
wanna break
Well,
real quick.
in May, apparently, Wolverine's already come back into the comics, but there is going to be four-part miniseries, starting with The Hunt for Wolverine, which is
It was getting a 16-part miniseries.
Well, it took him about an 8-issue miniseries to kill him, so...
that's
Oh,
that's true.
Yeah.
The Hunt for Wolverine is going to include Weapon Lost by Charles Soule and Adamantium Agenda by Tom Taylor. The Claws of the Killer by Marco Tamaki,
Rubio.
and The Mystery of Mandapore by Jim Zub. So there's going to be four-issue miniseries to bring Wolverine back. He came back. You saw him come back to life in Marvel Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And then there have been like little like one-page things and a few like The Return of Logan. I forget what they actually marketed it as, but it's on like the covers of the comics and stuff.
Wolverine,
so these are the main
you
things
made
to
a
bring
huge
Logan
mistake.
Logan back to the 616. He died in 2014 in the Death of Wolverine miniseries. So I'll be honest, it's only been 4 years, but it's been 4 years longer than I thought they would keep him dead.
You're not kidding. It's really been 2014?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Now, this is not including like stuff like Old Man Logan. Stuff
No,
like that.
Old Man Logan, they consider a completely different character. Laura, who's X-23, who is the
All
current
new
Wolverine,
X-Men.
is a completely different Wolverine. So this is the actual Logan that we know from
Okay.
the 616 time. This is
It's
him.
coming back. Okay, just
Does
checking.
it ever feel to you guys like sometimes these
Jesus.
comic book dates and our podcast dates don't really line up the
Yeah.
same? Because I feel like we were talking about Death of Logan like a year
last year?
ago or so.
Yeah.
And then it's like, no, that was 4 years ago. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's crazy. It's
That,
crazy.
yeah, we were talking about that. We were talking about that the other year.
Yeah.
We have to start referencing the other year.
Well, yeah. And well, like Jean Grey just now came back like a few months ago.
Yeah.
And she's been dead for, God, I don't even know when New X-Men was, when she died in New X-Men.
Early 2000s?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
she's been dead forever. Xavier just came back, and he died in 2012,
12, 13,
maybe
somewhere
12,
around
13. So, I mean, people complain that characters come back, but number one, if you're complaining about that, shut the fuck up, because of course they're going to come back.
Ben.
Yeah.
Uncle Ben's not an important character to come back. Charles Xavier, motherfucking's going to come back.
Bucky wasn't an important character to
No,
come back.
and came back.
Yeah.
But I mean, people are. I see people on the internet complaining that Jean Grey, the Phoenix, it has come back to life, and it's like, it's in her goddamn name. She is the Phoenix.
Man, why you gotta be so hateful, Ray?
I hate these
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Next.
But Wolverine's coming back. That's going to be four-part miniseries. I
How
haven't
did he
decided.
die?
He lost his healing
Healing
factor. He got in a bunch of fights, and he got encased in adamantium for some ridiculous reason. I think the actual Death of Wolverine series was bullshit, and not. It didn't give him a proper death for a character that big.
No.
But
He had a better death than Logan.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. I haven't decided if this is something I'm gonna follow or not, because it's 4 times 4.
That's
It's
16.
16
Coming out
issues.
over 4 months, or is it like 16 months?
I don't know. I don't know yet. It's starting in May. I'll look into it and see. But I'm not real excited about that. I'm excited.
It'd be
That,
4 issues because it's 4 different books. So
yeah. So who knows? I'll see.
One a month. That wouldn't be bad. I doubt they do that.
I think it'd be
That's
one
a
a week.
long time. Yeah, I think
it's going to be one a week for 4 months.
That's what I think, honestly.
Yeah.
They usually do stuff like that. This won't be a monthly, thing.
And $4 an issue, that's $16 a month just for that.
Just for Wolverine coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he's already back, so I don't know what the fuck they're even going to do. All right, well, we got a couple of other trailers, so let's talk about these a little bit, and then we'll get. Actually, why don't we jump into some toy news before we jump into these trailers? What do you think about that?
Let's finish that up.
Hasbro has gained the rights to the Power Rangers toys.
I think it's good.
That's interesting. What else does Hasbro have, TJ?
What
Everything?
don't they have at this point is probably the better question. But again, I think it's a good move. However, Bandai's not a very big toy provider in the U.S.
No.
This was this is probably their biggest line that they had. So with the lackluster Power Rangers film that came out last year and everything, I'm not surprised to hear about this.
That was my movie of the year last year. I thought it was going to be the big one.
I think it'll be interesting. Hasbro knows the toy business.
They really do.
So we'll see what they do with it. Maybe they can bring it back to.
Do you think this will bring across bigger shows and movies for Power Rangers being in Hasbro's court?
I don't know. They may have some more power to where they can probably get some newer TV shows or whatnot. Maybe get some stuff off the ground. Hasbro can kind of come in and say, hey,
do this. We want
it depends
toy
on
sales.
Yeah, it depends on what the toy license entails. Does it include entertainment properties as well, or does it just include just making the toys from whatever
series?
Yeah,
I mean, they could
whatever they make.
Revive some Street Sharks, some biker mice from Mars.
I have heard some news about Power Rangers being redone though, with who was it that was talking about they were in a Pink Ranger costume not too long ago, and I
think that was Chuck.
It was on the on Twitter. I can't remember who it was.
So by costume, Chuck meant the Pink Ranger's skin.
Yeah.
We're boring you to death, Mike. God.
I mean, you're the one that fucking sat here for 45 minutes and talked about some bullshit that you said.
But the interesting also, so it's Power Rangers. So that's a huge series they have just with each incarnation of that franchise they've had.
There's some opportunity there, but you got to play it right. I mean,
that's true.
So we'll see what happens.
Well, Hasbro's also announced another thing that's pretty.
No, this I'm excited about.
I don't know if this is revolutionary, but it's pretty interesting for what they're doing. They call it Haslab. It's a crowdfunding thing where they've said, "Hey, Jabba Selbridge, the 3 3/4
inch scale.
It's going to be characters. We've had people inches. We have people asked for this forever. So they've thrown up this thing, Haslab. And they've said, if you'll pledge $500 towards this, and we get, is it 5,000 people to do this, to pledge the $500 towards it, we'll do these things up.
Yeah.
And how big was it? It was 49 inches
49 inches long. It's huge.
It's huge.
And it comes with a Jabba scale figure for it and everything.
And a vintage looking packaging and everything.
Yeah. 3 3/4 scale, a pretty standard.
I mean, that's what your normal Star Wars scale figure is.
Like the old school one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
now, if there was the black series, that'd be impressive.
I think
bigger.
it is.
Oh, the black one's bigger?
Oh, God. Yeah,
like vintage 3 3. It's a 3 3/4 inch black series.
Yeah,
okay. It's not the 6-inch ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the 6-inch.
So the black ones aren't the biggest. What's funny?
Sometimes.
Anyway, the reason I'm excited about this is I think this is the first time a mainstream toy maker has done this.
Yeah.
We want to bring in these toys, but we don't want to spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
But TJ explained the reasoning.
But this also opens the door for other things. I'm sure a lot of fans would like to see something like a G.I. Joe USS Flag, Which if you put that thing back out again,
Woo!
that would be
But that's the thing. Like, when was the last time you saw GI Joe toys in a toy aisle?
exactly. I mean, but this opens the door for that though,
True.
because you're not going to see this Jabba sail barge on a toy aisle. You're
Yeah.
not going to walk down
No,
Walmart
absolutely
toy aisle
not.
and say $500 toy on the toy aisle.
Yeah.
Shit ain't happening. However, internet and crowdfunding and everything,
Amazon.
you can
the actual
easily see
Hasbro.
this happening.
That's true.
Hasbro could, open up their own, site as
Yeah.
well instead of going through distributors.
Yeah, and especially like with like Matty Collector doing the He-Man stuff that they do.
Oh, yeah.
And I think this opens up a really good door, and I'm really hoping it gets funded. This isn't up my particular alley,
Yeah.
but
it is
they
to an
could do-
extent.
it is to an extent, so I hope it gets funded, and I can't see it not. It's only 5,000 people out of all
That's
the Star Wars fans,
so small.
and those guys can drop. Usually, they can drop $500 on on that type of thing.
I'm a little upset that it's Java Cell Barge
Java's
because
Barge.
that's not something I'm interested in.
But
Yeah.
has it been done before with Kenner?
No.
Never.
So it's a first time thing, but TJ was saying earlier it's the molds they had to do to make this. It's not. It wouldn't be
you have to
cost
bring-
productive to do it.
Yeah, you have to make all new steel molds for this and everything else. It's just where all the cost is at.
Yeah.
And then for the size and everything else, I'm not surprised it costs this much, really.
Yeah.
Especially being a more or less one-off type thing.
But if this hits
I'm hoping it hits and
big time, then you're like, okay,
that opens the door for
What
other
would-
things.
What would be the next thing you would hope that you would get from that?
I think the USS Flag would be
Mhm.
a great one. That would be one that would be very easy to fund.
I think they would start with They would keep going with Star Wars first.
Maybe there's a lot of Joe collectors out there too.
Yeah.
They really are.
I would love to see a Transformers project put on there.
Ghostbusters Firehouse.
Ooh.
All kinds.
Do
of
they have
things.
Hasbro? Does Hasbro have Ghostbusters?
I don't think.
I don't
Well,
think
they might if they still have the old Kenner license from.
maybe.
I bet Sony's probably hurting for money.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So I mean, there's a lot
So
of
this is
opportunities.
some interesting things could come out of this. So
Yeah.
we'll keep our ear to the ground. TJ's going to go ahead and fund it so that he can get the next thing coming
No,
across.
S-Star, ACAT.
That's two Hot Toys. So
All right, so moving on.
Well, when you get more expensive in the future, you can say, "Oh, that's one Jabba sail barge right there."
Exactly, exactly. That's one
Exactly.
job. Moving on to some trailers, we got
This car is 60 Jabba sail barge.
So we got a new trailer for Pacific Rim. It's the IMAX trailer.
I love how there's no other song in any of these fucking trailers except for that. Ready. Ready.
I'm going to comment on that.
Ready.
When you
I
got
watched-
something that's working, why move on?
Well, I think in the second trailer, you actually got the theme from the first
If
movie.
you
in
watch
it.
the song credits for like Black Panther, it's like 10, 15 songs on there. I'm like,
You only heard one, though.
and then in Thor Ragnarok, there's one song credit
yeah,
at the end of Thor Ragnarok.
because they only got that one.
That's all they could
stuff,
afford.
yeah, all the other stuff. Yeah, it was the Led Zeppelin, but all the
Yeah.
other stuff was just stuff
endorsed.
written for it.
Yeah.
So, what was y'all's thought on Pacific Rim?
It's going to be good. I'm going to enjoy it.
I think it's going to be not as good as the first one, but still enjoyable.
It'll be a
And
popcorn
I
destroyer.
am looking forward to giant mechs fighting big fucking
beating
international
ass.
monsters.
Kaiju.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm beating dicks
I'm
and
gonna
beating
turn
ass.
So
off.
let's talk about giant monsters beating ass. We got a new Rampage trailer as well. The
Sweet
this is
Jesus.
another Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson.
Man.
It's Dwayne Johnson now.
Dwayne.
Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne.
Yeah, it's
No.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Dwayne. It's one
No.
syllable. It's
We've
Dwayne.
talked about
Yes.
this before
Ray,
on
Ray,
our
Ray,
podcast.
Ray,
and
Ray,
it
Ray,
will always
Ray.
be
I know, but I'm
Dwayne
just saying.
Lower the volume.
I'm just
the
saying.
Rock Johnson.
It'll be
Talking
Dwayne
so
The Rock
loudly.
Johnson.
I'm sorry, Michael. You do have a headache.
You're talking really loud, Chuck.
Calm down.
Well, no,
Oh,
it's
no,
fine to talk loud, but it's just
motherfucking
you guys are
Calm-
maxing us out
Mike.
right here.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Relax.
So, what's your thoughts on?
I will.
Chill out,
Whoa, dude, whoa.
I think
I'll watch it, but it'll probably
I
be somewhere else besides a movie theater.
I have a personal feeling that's
Wave
been
over
welling up
shots.
in my guts recently, and
Taco Bell.
with the movies like Rampage and other these like big budget CGI films, they just don't have any heart.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not excited in the least to see this. I feel like even if I was a child, I probably still wouldn't want to see this if I was over the age of 10. They just don't seem inspiring at all. They all seem the same jokes, the same sound effects, the same everything.
I think if I was a child and this was a movie that my dad brought me to, this would be the start of a lot of therapy when I was an adult.
Well, because here's part of the problem is this is based on
It's
a
The
video
Rock.
game that hasn't been relevant for 20 years.
30 years.
Is it 30 years?
Yeah.
The late 80s. I would
God.
say.
They made
Yeah.
another one on the PlayStation too.
There's
Okay,
no
whatever.
story to it.
No.
It's
I mean,
the
they're-
game is fun because the
No,
game is just
absolutely.
bash shit and break it.
It's the same thing, and that's why they're making this movie, because there is no there's no like real content you can get out of the game.
Video game movies.
All they can do is just, you know, make some shoestring plot and then have The Rock pretend to shoot grenades at a green screen.
He's really shooting those grenades. Come on.
I'm sorry. He needs to start pumping.
If it was Michael Bay directing, yes, he'd be really shooting at grenades.
So no one's excited about Rampage, but let's move on to we got the first official like full trailer for A Quiet Place.
No, that's the second trailer.
This is the first official trailer.
Yeah.
The first one was a teaser.
Yeah.
It was like almost 2 minutes long.
teaser.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Which the other, you know, there's some other companies that could learn what a teaser is from the first Quiet Place teaser.
Or maybe from the first Venom teaser.
Random action movie. No,
So, what are y'all's thoughts on A Quiet Place?
I'm excited for it. For some reason, I think it's because it's not a typical like movie I know is going to be good, or people are expecting to be good, like Black Panther, Infinity War, Ready Player One. This to me, I think, might be my movie of the year, just because it's
What are
something
you
out
going
of
to
the
do
norm.
when the monsters show up and it's just Michael Scott?
They've been hiding from him.
Yeah. They didn't want him to come over to their dinner party, so they just sign language the
It's
whole
I
Michael-
get
time.
it now, Mike.
it's
Said it's
Michael
like
and
it's the
Dwight.
Office movie.
It's Michael and Dwight coming after him.
Yeah.
Honey,
But,
what is that?
It's Date Mike.
I know it's probably me some like crappy monster or whatever, but just the concept of it, I'm really excited about this for some
Allison
reason.
sent me this because normally we always have a chat and we chat back and forth with each other all throughout the week. Hey, look at this trailer, look at this cool meme or whatever. Allison sent me this trailer before all of you did because I've been messing with her about how like, well, we've got to go see it. We have to support Jim from The Office. We want him to be a bigger star. And she's I forget what movie.
Benghazi.
We didn't say we don't care about that. But we saw a trailer for this on another film. I forget what it was a couple of months ago.
Star Wars, I think.
Maybe it was Star Wars, and she was like, that trailer almost made me cry. And then she sent me this one, and she's like, I almost cried again at this trailer. It terrifies me.
I think I sent it in the thread also.
You did, but it was after
Okay.
she sent it to
Okay,
me.
gotcha.
So like, me and her have to go see this.
Do you know what I'm not looking forward to, and I think it's going to be pretty lackluster in the movie?
What?
The dialogue.
Yeah,
Hey, if it keeps true to the name of it, I'm like,
it's
all right.
good. It's good. If
I
it's
feel like
not,
I've
it's
got to
not.
learn sign language before I
I
go
wonder
watch
if they're
it.
going to
I feel like-
subtitle
yeah,
it.
I feel like they'll have subtitles.
I hope they don't, though.
I mean, they
Because it would
don't.
be funny if Jim's fucking
They
around, not
don't-
doing the right sign language, but they're putting something
They don't
else
really
instead.
have to subtitle, and they're
Yeah.
probably not.
They can't talk.
I would hope they don't. It would kind of
but I mean,
break
they're
that
sitting down
illusion.
at a table having dinner with their family. What the fuck do you think they're talking about?
Maybe
This is a silent
their
film,
days.
Chuck.
So the last trailer that we got this week was a new Ready Player One, which I think
didn't think it was that great.
You didn't think it was that great?
No, it was
Chuck's
amazing.
trolling.
It was amazing.
It brought a lot more stuff that I recognized from the book into it.
I love pure
I
imagination
honestly, at this point,
over the trailer.
don't think that it's brought anything. There are new things to it, but it hasn't done anything more to make me want to watch the movie anymore.
Yeah.
I was already kind of hooked at the first few trailers.
You can only get so erect.
That's true.
When does it come out?
March 30th.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I like the fact how this one had, going back, it had pure imagination playing in it. Well, that's pretty much what the
That was
Oasis
pretty
is.
good,
It's
yeah.
imagination.
Yeah, when the song first started, I thought it was
really?
a goddamn Willy Wonka remake that Ray was talking
God,
about.
man.
I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But I mean, even it's that version of the song, but it fits. I enjoy it. I'm ready for it. Now I've not read the book.
Imagination. They should have used that song.
God.
Imagination.
Have the woodland critters running through at one point.
Parzival.
But this
I want your soul.
But with the Iron Giant though interacting with more like realistic CGI, it kind of made me feel a little better about a new Transformers movie that used the classic 80s designs too. So
Volkswagen Bumblebee all day.
no flatbed or
Like
flat front Optimus Prime.
That old Peterbilt. Yeah. Optimus. Try boy. Howdy.
And not like gears and shit sticking out all over. I mean, it's got like clean lines and everything.
I hope there's
Little
no
cassette players turning to giant robots.
I hope there's no flames either.
Yeah.
Optimus doesn't need flames.
No.
He's
A handgun turns into
he's not
fucking
hauling
tyrant of the
Bush.
Decepticons.
He's not hauling Bush beer across the Mason-Dixon line. I don't think he needs flames.
I really don't think you're going to see a handgun Megatron
I'm just saying.
in fiction again.
But I'm just saying, a cassette player turning into a giant robot. No,
You'll
just going
never
along with
see
the
a sound
example.
wave like that.
They're probably going to use some newer tech like tape
Like an
deck or
iPod.
Or
something.
they could set it in the 80s. Then
That
it's
would
there.
be really cool.
But I still don't think you'll see a handgun Megatron in that.
No, I don't think so either. All right.
Unless he's got an orange tip on the end.
That's true. That's true.
You can paint black.
All right, that's it for news. Y'all want to move on to mailbag?
No, let's end it now.
Yeah.
Fuck
Screw
it.
those letter writers.
I really can't stand people who take the time to interact with us. It pisses me.
All right, guys. So this is the section of the podcast where you, the listeners, ask us questions, and
We try to figure the answer out.
or we just bullshit and don't really give a fuck.
That's like all the
Amen.
time.
So, number one, Brian Marshall asked, have any of you guys ever read a manga that was a Marvel character? And if so, how does it differ from our comic book here in America?
It's in Japanese.
Have you
read
ever
it
read
from
it?
back to front?
Have you
Yeah.
have you ever read any of the Marvel, the X-Men mangas or anything like that?
No.
I haven't
No.
either. I don't care. I've listened to and read reviews of them, and they're not supposed to be very good, so I haven't read them. So
Don't waste your time, Brian Marshall.
Yeah, Brian
we
Marshall.
heard they suck.
yeah, there's a Phoenix one specifically that's supposed to be really, 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 really horrible. So don't read that.
Phoenix. Phoenix.
Chris on Facebook asks, "Does anyone play Final Fantasy 15 on PC? Thoughts? No.
No.
Mike is the only one that is, I think, even interested in doing PC gaming, and it was his nerd on last year to build a PC game, and
PC.
I
Gamer.
think 15 is the 15's the MMO, isn't it?
I thought so.
No.
No, 15 is the one that
No,
just came out.
14's the MMO.
Yeah.
14 is the one that had, which one had lightning in it?
That
Lightning.
was 12 and 12. No, that was
okay.
13.
13
Alright.
or 14.
And then there was a special one-off with lightning in it as well. What was it
Mhm.
called?
13-2 or something.
Yeah.
13-2.
Stupid
12-2.
shit.
Exactly.
I think that was 12.
Whatever.
12.
No, I have not
12
played
was set
15
in
at all.
Evolus.
No. I had some friends that played it, but not on PC either. So, Moving on to
Sorry.
Instagram. We had some Instagram questions.
That's weird.
Brian7572 asked,
Marshall.
yeah, so you think you're tricking us by asking questions on two different platforms.
What? Not me.
What are some comic series I should look out for in 2018?
I don't know what's coming out in 2018.
I don't know. I know a lot of stuff that's dying in 2018. I was really enjoying
Ray's
Generation
Liver.
X. And that is being killed off. Gwenpool's being killed off. I know a lot of people were loving that. So far, X-Men Red has been really good. The one issue I've read, I've loved Rogue and Gambit. That everyone that listens to this knows X-Men's my bread and butter. But Rogue and Gambit is so like 90s and great that I absolutely love it. I don't know anything else that's coming out in 2018 that's like supposed to be really good. We'll try to
kept
keep
up
you
that much.
yeah, we'll try to
Some
keep
of it.
you up to date as things come out, but I don't have anything on the horizon that I'm. Well, there is a new Mutants that's coming out. I am excited about that. The new Amazing Spider-Man, the Red Goblin, and the end of
Dan
Slott's run is coming. So I told my guy to throw that on my pull
Who do you
list.
guys think is going to fill his slot?
I don't remember. I think there have been people that they've said.
You don't remember who you
Who
think
I
is going to
think
fill
I have
his?
no clue. He's going over to Iron Man, so I don't know who's going to be taking over his stuff. And
Maybe they're
then
going to swap places. Maybe the Iron Man guy is going to come over.
maybe
They're
Wasn't Bendis doing Iron Man?
they're just going to take the spider off of one
Bendis
guy's
is going
office door.
to. Oh, that's the
and
other
put it on
thing.
the
Bendis
other.
is going to DC, so he's going to be doing a lot of Superman stuff. So if you enjoy Bendis, I mean his Superman stuff. I think he's doing one called Man of Steel, and then he's also going to be doing some of Action Comics. So
Yeah. We'll see.
yeah, I neither love nor hate Bendis. I
Middle road.
read his stuff, but he's not like someone that I'm a huge fan of or a huge hater of. Same thing with Dan Slott. I like his stuff. I thought he did an excellent job on the Superior Spider-Man stuff.
Pretty much middle of the road for you.
Yeah, and they're not people that I live or die by on comics, but I'll read their stuff if they're on something interesting.
I will give Bendis this. He's one of the guys that brings some newer characters that have actually stuck around as far as in Marvel.
Yeah.
Like Jessica Jones and Miles Morales. So.
Well, but he hasn't done that lately.
No,
That's been
What have you
everybody
done
does it.
for me lately?
Exactly.
Everybody does that stuff now for their own independent comic, though. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Let's see. Novak Dacking asks on Instagram, who is your favorite villain ever and why? Also, who are the most overrated villain ever and why? Most overrated villain. What do you
Boba
guys
Fett.
think? I think the Joker.
I'll give you that.
I think it's Magneto.
Overrated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he wants to know why, so you have to
Okay.
show your work.
For Boba Fett, he's got what
One
a
or
minute
two
of
lines.
screen time between two movies.
What about all the other stuff, the expanded universe stuff, or the comics, or anything
If you
like
just
that?
go by the movies, which was what everybody has seen,
Yeah.
No, I know, but I'm saying there's more to that character than just the movies.
But
I still
as far
think
as
he's
canon
overrated.
goes,
But
yeah.
they wouldn't have expanded that much if the character wasn't initially popular.
no.
It was
They didn't make Bosk.
the appeal
No,
of the
Bosk had done all
character.
their
Bosk
stuff.
has got some extended universe stuff too. I think it was a cool design.
Yeah,
Which
absolutely.
I
Skywalker
can't
doesn't
deny.
have-
It's a cool design.
Great idea.
Yeah,
Great idea.
good
The
idea.
Mandalorians and all
Mhm.
that.
I just think that it wasn't executed well.
Yeah.
Even when Boba shows up in Clone Wars, it's not anything spectacular.
That's yeah.
Which is the only
toy
other place.
was more fearsome than the Boba Fett in the movies.
Yeah, the toy. I think the toy had a lot to
What
do
about
with the
the new Star Wars
memorability of it.
comics? The Marvel Star Wars comics.
He's been okay. I mean, it's just not. He's not a scary guy. The scariest guy in the Star Wars comics is Vader.
I do have to let you guys know that TJ is saying this as he is wearing a T-shirt of himself as Boba Fett.
Yeah, 'cause that's scarier.
It is.
It really, honestly is.
But but in the movies, no, he wasn't that
TJ with a
intimidating or
Boba Fett
anything.
that has a rocket launcher on it. Fuck that.
But yeah,
Exactly.
like the original toy for Boba Fett, they pulled from the shelves because the rocket
never
was
made it to
Oh,
shelves.
that's right, never made it to shelves because they feared the rocket was too small and kids would choke on it.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the documentary. So who's your most overrated villain? Chuck. Mike said Magneto. What's your reason for Magneto?
I just said that because you said the Joker. No one hurt your
You want to
feelings.
hurt my feelings. I think the Joker is a good villain, but I think it's like saying Batman is overrated. Batman is a good hero, but he is overrated because everyone thinks that Batman can defeat anything. And I think it's the same thing with the Joker. The Joker is a good villain. He's an interesting villain, but he is still overrated. If you rate him, he is going to be rated over where he should be rated because people like him so much. Just like Deadpool. Deadpool's a good character, but he is overrated.
Yeah, he's got there's more emotion attached to the character than there is actual logic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love the villains so much, man.
I know you do. Who's your one you think's overrated? Is it Strife?
I'm gonna have to go Joffrey.
You think he's overrated? And why so?
Because,
Why?
Because he's a kid at first, so he's just he's a fucking brat.
Yeah.
Is the biggest thing, but he doesn't really know what he's doing. He's being led by his mom, so he's not Ramsey level villain. Where Ramsey's just psychotic and doing what he wants to do. Joffrey's being directed, so he's not really as bad.
Gotcha.
He did have Ned Stark's
first.
head cut off.
But was there a whisper in his ear telling him to do it?
No, actually, she told him not to do it.
Okay. Been a while since I've seen it.
So, Mike, who's your most overrated villain?
He said Magneto.
I know. I didn't think that was a real answer,
It
though.
wasn't.
Yeah, that's what.
I don't really have an answer. I mean, I don't
So,
think.
well, let's move over to the flip side. Who's your favorite villain? Oh, this is a hard question for you, TJ. Who's your favorite villain? We'll come back to you, Mike. Think hard on it. Oh, TJ's having some size.
Yeah.
Chuck,
Yeah.
you got to save me here. Who's your favorite villain?
Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Okay. Tell us why.
Reason why
Vinny
is
Mac.
he is it's
strut.
that whole Steve Austin thing, and yeah, it's that strut, that billionaire walk.
Okay.
I have money. You're gonna do what I tell you to do. Pretty much, he's that boss you hate. You have to work for, and you know he has a better way of life. He has everything you don't have, and you gotta work for him.
Do you
fucking love the guy?
Okay, I was gonna say, but do you respect him a little bit?
Oh God, yeah.
Okay. I'm definitely a Magneto guy. I love the how gray Magneto can be.
Other than his hair.
Yeah, you can paint him as a complete villain, but he still has legitimate reasons for doing what he does.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes his reasons for doing what he does that seems villainous.
The ends justify the means.
Yeah, it seems more justifiable than what the heroes do sometimes. So,
Yeah.
He's a habitual line stepper.
yeah, well, yeah, he can be, definitely.
I think that's more Charles than Magneto, though. Chuck is a fucking line stepper.
That's the truth.
from all ends.
TJ,
Well, he's not
you got
really
anyone yet?
stepping
Or do
over
we
any
have to go to
lines.
Mike?
I got like 3 that
Well-
I really want to weigh out, but I
Throw 'em
can't
all
go
out.
a Y.
Okay.
I'd go Vader,
Okay, Vader's a good one. That would be my second choice.
Megatron.
Okay, of
especially in
course.
the IDW stuff. They turned Megatron from a one note
One
Yeah.
trick pony.
one trick pony to just a really deep character.
The IDW stuff, I haven't read all of it, but if you are a Transformers fan and you want something to flesh out the characters more than the 80s cartoon did,
Yeah.
good God, go read those IDW
Yeah, there's some
books.
there's some some of those stories just rival anything I've read in other comics.
They're
honestly.
incredible. IDW puts out some fucking good stuff because their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff I've been reading is excellent. It's so good. It's so much better than any of the movies or cartoons I've seen. So
those two, and probably and I'll have to throw a vote on Magneto as well.
Okay.
He's really one of those characters where I can't say I couldn't be that guy.
Yeah.
If I'd went through the things that he had went through, I can't say that I wouldn't have turned into that. So
absolutely. Mike, you got anything for us? Favorite villain?
No.
All right. Well, that's our mailbag for the week. Mike says, fuck all you guys. And we're going to come back with a review. Some of our listeners want a spoiler review. We want to go into all the spoilers of Black Panther. So we'll be right back.
Yeah. I don't remember half of it.
All right, guys. So this is our review of.
Right?
Shh, bring it down, guys. This is our review of Black Panther. Black Panther just came out this Thursday. Half of us saw. Well, 3/4 of us saw it on Thursday.
All of us.
TJ saw it today.
Or fifth.
So let's go ahead and kick off and let's talk about this. This is going to be full of spoilers.
We're
so
doing
if you,
good, bad, ugly.
I don't remember what that is. I know we've done it before.
Do it.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
But this, if you haven't seen Black Panther, you may want to pause, go watch Black Panther
Real quick.
Yeah. It's not gonna take long.
2 hours 15 minutes. Come back and then listen to our review. But we're going to be talking pretty in depth about this. Several people on the social medias asked us to go into it, hit it hard. So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So
That's what we do. Hit it hard.
that's what we do. So here it goes. You've been warned. Spoilers. Here they come. Right now. They're coming at you.
Black
Okay.
Widow wins.
So,
Panther.
Black Panther. Pretty. I can't say 100% it's my top 3, but it's probably in my top 4 of Marvel movies.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
It dropped First Avenger for me.
It dropped First Avengers to
Captain America, because Captain America, First Avenger, Winter Soldier flip-flop back and forth
as your top.
as my favorite.
Oh.
It knocked First Avenger out.
So now
fucking
Winter
liked it.
Soldier and Black Panther are 1 and 2. Interesting. Also, will say what was the total money it was?
So
I think
far
it was $210 million domestically that it's done opening weekend.
192 was the last I saw.
192. Okay.
I thought 215.
Yeah, I thought I saw 210 or 215. It's doing real well.
So far, 361 from what I just last saw.
Yeah, which puts it in,
Worldwide.
which I believe I was reading puts it somewhere around 11th of all comic movies ever.
Yeah.
It's doing real well. It's doing real well. It's just a few million away from what Justice League did its entire run up to this point. So I think we talked about last week or the week before, someone asked us, do we think this is going to top $1 billion? And we were like, I don't know if it has the legs to do that.
It might-ish.
Yeah, I might be way wrong. We'll see, because the box office is killing it, and it's got Monday still.
And I don't see anything else on the horizon that
to kick it off.
No, I don't. I one thing I think that you're going to see from this and from Deadpool last year, though, I think you're going to see this spot filled up quite a bit in the future.
Oh, this early, February, March area?
Mid-February spot.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to see it filled up with those movies where someone wants to take, that's a solid movie, but they want to take a chance on it.
Well, now it's good that Fox decided to move Deadpool away from this time period. Good God.
Right, it's the 5th highest all-time domestic opening.
Yeah. So it's absolutely killing it. We all rank it pretty high.
Yeah.
let's talk about a couple of the things that we really like about it, and then we'll talk about the things we didn't like about it. Chuck, what were some of the things you really enjoyed about this film that set it apart from other Marvel films for you?
One of the things that was the theme was the sins of the father are paid for.
Mm-hmm.
I love that because it did not see that twist coming from T'Chaka to T'Challa involving Killmonger and his story in it. And I was like, you know what? That is completely different because it's also centralized just to this one area. It's not affecting anybody else but the lineage and the people of Wakanda. That was one of the things I did love, and I don't know, it seemed like it flowed a lot better in some of the other Marvel movies, and it wasn't like I've seen this before. It didn't feel like that.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
They didn't have to shoehorn a Infinity Stone plot in. They could do what they wanted.
That's true.
Yeah.
I also felt like when I was watching this film, I know a lot of people talk about the like Nate loves to harp on this, how they all
Marvel villains.
Well, not the Marvel
faceless.
villains, but
the formula.
The formula, the Marvel formula.
That's right.
And especially the first 2/3 at least of this film felt nothing like it didn't even feel like I was watching a Marvel comic movie.
Yeah.
If I didn't know that Black Panther was a Marvel hero, it felt completely different than that. And I really dug that. I loved that. And I felt like there was a lot, like, even though I know we're on a nerd podcast, we have I'm currently working on a Black Panther episode of my other podcast. I don't have the most knowledge on Black Panther, but I've got a lot of knowledge on it. And watching this movie, I was still surprised, even though I know this is like sort of kind of maybe not a prequel, but like we already know what's going to happen with Black Panther. There was still some twist in here I was not expecting.
Yeah.
During the fight with Killmonger, I did not expect Killmonger to essentially.
Oh, first fight?
No, the one where he challenges T'Challa and they go out to the
their first fight, not the second fight.
No, yeah. Okay, yes.
When he challenges for the right to rule Wakanda.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. I didn't see him throwing him off the goddamn.
See, that's
I
what
knew they had to do it in a way to where he didn't die.
Yeah.
So I didn't know he'd actually throw him off, but I knew that he was going to beat his ass.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be that bad, though, because...
No, I knew it was going to be that bad.
And that was the thing with those fights, the earlier fights, I still felt like there was an urgency to them.
Yeah.
Like there was something at stake there.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of my... we haven't gotten to this, like, what are our gripes, but that was one of my gripes with the end of the film.
Okay.
I didn't feel like there was as much urgency at the end with his fight with Killmonger.
Yeah.
As the earlier fights.
You didn't feel like there was a chance he could lose.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But no, in the first fight, there's a lot of passion in it.
Yeah.
In the first challenge too, it was kind of a play by the numbers. You kind of knew how it was going to go. I was kind of surprised he actually did get stabbed with the spear in the first fight.
That's true.
The very first fight. The second one, I knew he's going to get his ass kicked. They kind of already set Killmonger up as someone that he was going to have a problem with. He's been this guy. He's killed all these people. Didn't even bat an eyelash doing it, type thing. So they kind of set him up already in this earlier scenes, going, okay, Charlie's going to get his ass kicked when he comes off the juice. As far as the other things I liked, there were a lot of complaints about the CGI not being that great. I get it, but it was to me it was consistent across the whole movie. Though it wasn't. No, it was very. The CGI is very consistent across the whole movie.
I felt like whether it was consistent or not, the last fight scene where they're falling down the shaft and grappling with each other, and then there's another scene where I don't know, he kicks or something T'Challa and he like swings around one of those things on the train. Yeah, one of the vibranium things that does those two parts to me even if they were on par with the other ones, because of where they were, they felt like a little bit of a sore thumb.
They looked a lot like the stuff in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Mike,
honestly,
do you have any good that you said about it? Because we just started going into some bad parts of it.
Well, we're still talking about good.
We're still talking about the good parts. I mean,
what are your good parts, Mike?
I was just curious because it sounded like we were starting to derail on it.
I like the costumes.
Yes.
I thought the costumes and the movie felt like it had a really good attention to detail that I liked. It wasn't overly funny, which, even if it was funny, that's fine.
The humor in it was really, I thought, was good.
I think the humor in it was well placed.
It was like fish out of water at the times when they did it.
I feel like that a lot of the characters were well casted.
Absolutely.
I mean, they got, Lupita Nyong'o, which I'm pretty sure she either did or almost won an Academy Award.
12 Years a Slave, I believe. She was in that.
Yeah, possibly. I think so. It's been a while since I've seen that movie. But like I said, the actors were great. Like the costumes were amazing. I really like.
Oh yeah.
I think that they did a good job of building the world of Wakanda.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I really enjoyed. The mix of modern and then ancient tribal as well. I thought was just pretty cool overall. Those were my general likes for the movie, though.
I will the Dora Marjala. I always have a hard time with it. Dora Malche.
Who the hell is that?
The ladies that were badass and
his bodyguards.
His bodyguards.
His Praetorian Guard.
Okay, I was one of them.
Were so badass and good. Also, Shiri, his sister. She had some of the best little joke things.
I call them sneakers.
Yeah, things like that. I totally agree with Mike. The whole world that they built in Wakanda was incredible. It was great.
I love the Grace Jones line at the beginning of the movie. It's like, we got these two Grace Jones bitches outside the door or whatever. Okay. That was thrown in for my generation. I get you.
I mean, overall, I thought it was really good. And like I said, I enjoyed the fact that it didn't focus around the Infinity Stone or anything. They didn't try to shoehorn a story into it. I mean, they used the events of the
Civil War.
Yeah, of the current Marvel storyline, but they did it while telling an interesting origin story that in and of itself was not an origin story.
Yeah. It didn't feel like an origin story. I wasn't bored during it.
Yeah.
No.
And one of my favorite things they did, and I think they did really well, is although, Killmonger was, kind of shaped into just this heartless killing machine, you still had sympathy for him, and you empathized with where he came from and what he had to deal with, and putting yourself. The movie does a good job of helping you put yourself into his shoes, and that's something that a lot of movies don't do. The villains are very one dimensional.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he was, it wasn't like Kurtz and Apocalypse Now or anything. But
like I was just talking about earlier with Magneto, Killmonger had that kind of feeling to him. Like, you kind of agreed with him.
At the very end, when T'Challa was like, "Hey, man, we can still save you."
Oh yeah.
I was thinking, like, man, 2 Black Panthers, that would be awesome. Of course, and I guess they meant put him in jail and shit like that, because that's why he did it. But I don't think T'Challa would have done that.
I honestly
don't either.
When I was sitting there and he was stabbed and about to die, and T'Challa took him to see the sunset and all that, I was like, this bothers me because you could save his life. And I feel like most superhero movies would just just ignore that.
Yeah, just let him die.
And not be like, oh yeah, we could have saved you. But I loved that they addressed that, because T'Challa's like, we can probably still save you, and Killmonger's like, nah,
I don't want
bro.
to be in jail.
Yeah, nah, bro. And just pulls out the dagger and dies. And so I appreciated that they at least like acknowledged that
He'll be back.
and left like because
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah, Michael B. Jordan did for anything. I don't think he did anything bad in the Fantastic Four being Johnny Storm, but that was just a horrible movie. And
You couldn't act your way out of writing that movie.
No. That was just a train wreck already, and I'm sorry that he got attached to that. He beyond like rose above that in this. He was, like you said, Mike, so like such a sympathetic villain for even how like bad
Chuck
he was.
disagrees. Chuck's
Do you really disagree with
This movie honestly had two of the best MCU villains that have been in the movies.
They had both been
To
fucking
date.
killed off.
That's the part I'm disappointed about, is that they killed both of them off.
It was time for Claw to die,
Yeah,
honestly.
He was one movie.
He was in one
Claw's
fucking
kind of run
movie.
his core, but his actions have kind of pushed forward a lot of the stuff, especially him originally stealing, or
The vibranium.
being aided the vibranium.
Yeah.
The one thing is, I felt like his character, his death could have been a bit more useful, but I guess that was kind of the point of Killmonger, was just to he didn't give a shit.
Killmonger just confused me as a villain, man.
Why?
Because Chuck thinks in black and white.
Because the reason why he confused me was who killed his daddy?
He looked good, but like, I'm not gay.
Who killed his daddy? T'Chaka, Wakandan. He was left abandoned in America because his Wakandan blood pretty much, we're not going to take you because we're going to keep you a secret and keep you buried. But yet when he gets to Wakanda, it's not to destroy Wakanda, it's to deal punishment to the white colonizers he dubbed and give arms out.
His dad's
Was trying to do the same thing.
Whole belief system was, the white colonizers have oppressed our people for way too long,
But
And we have the technology
and we have the opportunity and technology to just take care of it.
yes, I
Whereas,
get that. But they didn't put him in that situation. That was Wakanda that put him in that situation.
No, his dad was
Killmonger,
raising him in L.A. in the 90s, in the early 90s.
Because they didn't know he had a kid.
No, his dad was raising him there, so that's where he grew up
T'Chaka
in. And
knew
his
he had a
dad
kid.
his dad was teaching him this. And yeah, T'Chaka knew he had a kid because Forrest
Because
Whitaker
he made a conscious choice to leave him.
Yeah. Him and Forrest Whitaker made a choice to leave his ass there to protect the lie that his brother was killed in some other way.
Yeah, but I'm saying, if I would have seen this guy from this country killed my family, why won't I try to destroy them?
He did.
He
Wakanda?
put him in a civil war.
The main point was to get the weapons out.
Yeah, he
The
doesn't
technology out. That's what his main
was-
goal
that
Killmonger was doing.
his main
'Cause he
goal,
had
I
already
think, was also to
killed.
take vengeance upon the family as
Yeah,
well.
he had already
the
killed
the
T'Challa.
Wakandan family.
He killed T'Challa. He burnt.
He didn't kill T'Challa.
He thought he did. He threw him off
Everybody
a
thought he
fucking.
did.
Yeah, everyone did.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the fuck's gonna happen. How's he coming back from that?
Yeah.
He threw him off a goddamn huge ass cliff. That's to me like, hey, this guy's dead. I mean, sitting there knowing how the story goes and knowing that this is kind of like shoehorned into the middle of Civil War, like I knew he wasn't, but I was like, how are they going to get the fuck out of this? It looks like he's dead.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising that he thought he killed T'Challa.
No. Or that everybody
I
else
just
thought
did
he
not.
was dead.
I like Killmonger starting the movie off, and then it just seemed like his intentions just started getting a little fuzzy going towards
No,
the
he
end.
was trying to fulfill his father's dream, and he was trying to
Take vengeance.
Yeah,
Those
I
were
felt
his
like
two
he was
motivations.
pretty solid.
He had more than any other MCU villain I've seen so far. He's had pretty solid motivations. He's had better motivations than Loki's had for doing the shit that he's done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Except for Zemo.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
The
Zemo.
villain in Civil
Oh,
War.
Zemo. Yeah, I mean, Zemo had some pretty... But his... I don't know.
Zemo's a very underrated villain.
It
Honestly,
just felt like he's like, I'm going to get back at you, I'm going to get back at you, and get back at you. I'm like, just focus on one thing. Wakanda's what screwed you over. Focus
got
on
back
destroying
at 'em.
them.
But you
Not
also
really.
have to understand that they still love Wakanda. It's their home. So he wants to get back at the people that wronged his family, but he still loves Wakanda because he's a Wakandan.
He's never been there.
It doesn't matter.
It was described to him. It's his homeland.
It doesn't matter. So he wants to take Wakanda and help out people, take what Wakanda has and move it out into the rest of the world to help his people. I don't know. I feel like he was.
It's very Magneto-esque.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very classic, well done villain to me.
He had better motivations than any other MCU villain I've seen so far.
Yeah.
So
one of the
justify
tops.
the means.
Hmm?
Ends justify the means.
Yeah.
Which is a Magneto philosophy.
And we definitely have talked about Michael J. Michael D.
Fox?
Jordan did an excellent job. God, he was so good
He did a
at
solid
his
job.
part. And
Built like
all
a brick
of the
shithouse,
actors in this were seriously good.
Yeah.
I don't think there was one person in this movie that I was like, man, their acting chops need to be pumped up a little bit. They need to
Forrest
pump up
Whitaker.
Yeah.
Wow. Forrest Whitaker is Forrest Whitaker.
He just plays like
Angela Bassett.
an alarmed old crazy man
Always.
Anymore.
Always.
and he is officially the Black Sean Bean. He fucking dies in everything.
That's true.
Yeah.
He just kind of wants to be in everything.
He just
so-
shows the fuck up and you know what? This movie was good, but can you just go and kill me and fuck off?
I think we need a death
Dang it.
scene here.
I think I'm about ready to go.
Now, a lot of people before this came out were saying this was the best Marvel movie that's ever been made. I don't think that's true.
I think it was the most different so far we've seen.
It's definitely the most different. The soundtrack was good in this. And I don't think it's the best, but it's damn close.
It reminds me of Winter Soldier and the fact that it could do well as just a standalone movie.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes. Which
very
is
much.
impressive at this point in time in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I
kind
love
of
the
breaks
film.
formula.
Yeah. I would probably at least rank this 8.5 jalapenos.
I got a 9 on
easy.
it, man.
9. And you seem like you hated it more than me.
What?
Yeah.
No, it's
Well, you're just bitching so much about the
bitching
villain.
so
It was just
much.
Killmonger.
Chuck just sticks to his guns, man.
He does. He's always
Black and
going to
white.
overrate.
Black and white, man. No gray.
Besides from just Killmonger, just his motivation to me is there's the CGI towards the end, which Nathan
The
pissed
CGI
me off with. No, Nathan saying the third act, they fight when it's a green screen, you can tell. I fucking noticed that when I
Well,
saw
it was
it.
very
I'm
noticeable
sorry,
in
there's
that.
no
That pissed me off. I
vibranium
know.
caves we can throw people into
I
and
know,
have
but
them
I'm
fight.
like, God damn it, Nathan, when I saw that. But two scenes with...
Why were you angry?
Because he was fucking right. I
It
was
looks like a green screen.
because if I never would have paid attention to what Nathan said, I was like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. But
So what you're
But
saying?
the close-
No. What you're saying is foreknowledge of the movie kind of ruined it for you, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like he spoiled it,
no.
almost.
Because you knew
Yeah.
what was coming?
Yeah, you know.
No, when I saw it, fuck off.
yeah.
But
God.
the only issue is really it was just the villain
It
thing.
sucks when that happens.
But you
doesn't
said
it?
a 9.
Yes,
You're gonna
I
give it
still
9.
love it.
I give it an 8.5. He's going to give it a 9.
I'm going to agree with Ray. 8.5.
What do you think?
Which is high praise because I don't
No.
believe in a 10. So
Yeah.
You're that kind of fucking customer. Like 8.5 around there.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah, we loved it. It's doing incredible in the box office. We'll see.
Go
We're
watch
gonna
it.
keep watching it. Yeah, definitely go watch it.
And I think we kind of covered this, but the soundtrack is pretty fucking amazing.
I listened
The
to it the
whole
other
way
day,
through.
the whole way through, and it's pretty good.
Although Killmonger by far has the best the best music.
Yeah.
Although I did like the Simba talking to Mufasa Dreamland, like the fucking like epic fucking orchestral. I felt like I was watching I don't know.
Lion King.
No, it was like a
Lion King on weed biscuits.
1930s like movie. Because let's go back and listen to it. It's very airy and classic.
I will say this is the first Marvel movie I say don't wait for the end credits.
Oh, y'all talked about this. I think the end credits were fine.
No,
I
they
think
were a waste of
no,
fucking
they were
time.
not.
No.
You're overreacting because
They mentioned during the movie several
I'll
times.
let you finish, but you're wrong.
They mentioned several times we need to let the world know who Wakanda is. We need to let who Wakanda is. They wasted an entire end credit scene only to have that we're going to suck each other off look between Martin Freeman and Chadwick Boseman. It's like, oh, what does Wakanda have to offer us? Sheep?
So the last...
We didn't need that. And
the last few Marvel movies have been... The first end credit is to, like, sort of finish up a plot point in the movie, like with...
Okay, with Homecoming,
Ragnarok.
it was Aunt May walking in.
Yeah. So...
And Thor was...
So Thor, we get, like, just the end of not the collector, the game master.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone did a good job. The second one is a very slight... This is what's coming up in Infinity War, because they've kind of already built all of that up, and the next movie,
the next end of Ragnarok was kind of a beat you over the head. This is what's coming.
This is what's coming up. The next thing that's coming up is Infinity War.
Yeah,
well,
and all
Homecoming didn't.
But no, Homecoming didn't, and Homecoming is a Sony film.
Patience.
Yeah.
It was a Marvel movie.
Thank you.
Yeah, but it's still a Sony film. So I think that you are spoiled.
I like when it ruins his argument that he disagrees.
It's a Sony movie.
It's fanboyism.
But it's they've already done all of this other stuff. I think you're spoiled on the other things, like having Nick Fury come in and say Avengers Initiative and all this stuff.
I think that
these were fine in credit scenes. They weren't anything out of control wild.
I feel they were, compared to the movie that they were with, I feel that they were a letdown.
Thank you.
I will say the one thing that I had hoped that we would get from the first end credit scene with T'Challa in the UN.
That could have been the end of the movie.
That could have been. That's fine, but
that's
it
what
wasn't.
I'm saying.
What would you have preferred, Chuck?
I would have preferred because I don't care what Chuck prefers.
Okay, Chuck.
I was hoping, like, while I was watching it, that we were going to get another Iron Man, I'm Black Panther. That's what I had kind of hoped. Because that's an actual comic book thing that happens in the Avengers comics, is T'Challa goes and says, hey, I'm the Black Panther. And everyone's like, oh my God, you're the king of the Wakanda. All that. But the last scene with Winter Soldier just being like, hey, I'm here. I think they needed that because they didn't address any of that in the film. So you need to have something.
They didn't address anything about Cap or any of those other guys being there.
And I think that's because of the time period of where it is, because it's kind of shoehorned into the whole time of Civil War. So throwing this
kind of had to be, because at that point, then you've got
after Civil War, because the end of Civil War, Bucky goes into stasis.
It's not after Civil War. It's in between Civil War.
Yeah.
This happens while Civil War is happening.
So he's literally in Wakanda. He's in wherever they're fighting at the same time, doing all this stuff.
I believe that it's actually between the end of Black Panther and I think Black Panther, basically at the end of Black Panther, Civil War occurs, and then you see the aftermath in the end credit scene, which is the diplomacy, and then also Bucky. Or they just ignored the fuck out of him the whole movie because he's a one-armed dude recouping in a tent somewhere.
Yeah,
who knows?
But Cap and some of the other guys are already
not
at
there.
Wakanda
Cap
too,
and Wilson
at that point.
And
by the end of
Falcon were
Civil
there
War.
at the end of Civil War.
So I think this happens before the end of Civil War, but some of it happens during or after the beginning of Civil War. So after T'Chaka dies, this is going on, and then before, like, some of the main Civil War stuff, this is going on.
But he changes into his old suit before he...
Yeah. So you have that going on. So you needed, like, something else to throw in there to be like, oh, this is when this is happening. This is why no one else was involved in this, because this is actually happening before this. Yeah. So I think they were fine in credit scenes.
Yeah. And this is also the first Phase 3 movie that you didn't have another superhero popping up in it.
Which I think was on purpose.
Yeah, it's on purpose. Yeah. But yeah.
And that's where Martin Freeman came in. He was the buddy.
He was the new Coulson.
I'll be honest, I was kind of disappointed Doctor Strange didn't show up at some point to interact with Martin Freeman's character. So
There's always Infinity War.
Because it's my theory right now that Black Panther is going to be the new Captain America and Doctor Strange is going to be the new Tony Stark in the next. I guess they're not doing phases anymore. But
I kind of flip it though. I think it's going to be Black Panther is going to be the new Iron Man, and Doctor Strange is going to be the new Thor, and then somebody else would be like the new.
Do you really think
Captain
that they're going
Marvel
to carry on
probably be
archetypes?
the new Captain America archetype type character?
I don't know. I think Black Panther's more of a Captain America than Captain Marvel is, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's our sort of in depth.
I sound like a tattoo wager, guys.
Yeah.
All right, guys. This has been Nerds Who Get Laid.
We got 10
Thank you
years
for
to figure
listening,
it out.
and I hope you have a fantastic evening, constant listeners. This has been Nerds Who Get Laid, sometimes signing off. Later, boners.
Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes is recorded at the illustrious Big Brown Record Town Studios in beautiful downtown Lake City. Episodes are published each Monday on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, and Google Play. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Nerds Who Get Laid. We're at Nerds Who Get Laid on Twitter and Instagram. We're part of the Geeks World Wide podcast network. You can find reviews and articles we write at thegww.com. We're also part of the Modest Pod podcast network. We're on FloridaGeekscene.com and also WeBeGeeksPC.com. Please subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. You can also check out the show notes for links about things we talked about in this episode. Thanks so much.
This has been a production of the GWW Radio Network. Please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. Also, check out Geeks Worldwide at thegww.com for all the latest news, reviews, and opinions on video games, comics, movies, TV, cosplay, and more. Geeks Assemble!